I know that the concept of the time zone seems to belong to somehow a forgotten past, but I still would like to start with a good afternoon. Yeah, and by saying this, I also realize that it's a perfect introduction to what we would like to share with you today, namely how to address the local and the global at the same time. How can we be here and there? How can we build this maybe tomorrow? So yes, good afternoon. So I am currently in our office in Brussels. It's a bit cloudy, but there are some ray suns that are amazing in Belgium. So I'm Johnny Leia, one of the three partners of the office, architectural office Traumnovelle. This is maybe the other complementary introduction that to introduce the short talk is the I and the we, how the I and the we can and should converge to strengthen each other. As students, we decided to create our own architectural office in order to maintain somehow a zone in which we could address through architecture the topics that we thought were relevant for our societies. Our obsession is to find the right questions before seeking the right answers. Because, yeah, you can't find a good answer to a bad question. I'm not saying that we succeeded so far. Our first public commission was for the Belgian pavilion at the 2018 Venice Biennale. So as co-curators and architects, we gathered around us experts from different fields. Our aim was to find a way to address the importance of the European Union as a political ideal and to build narratives able to involve the cultural world like us and other people more efficiently in those common political questions. So we like to call it it was our last utopia, or maybe it's still, but so yeah, again, don't get us wrong. We are not at all saying that everything is perfect in the EU right now. The only thing that we're saying is that there are things that can be optimized and also that we need to be more involved into that process. One important precision is with this project, we are not looking for a common identity, we are looking for a common project. So trying as space makers to address this urgent need of, how to be a society. But today, the project that we would like to share with you this afternoon, is called Terre, or Earth. So Earth is a project for the future. So Terre, or Earth in English, although in the translation we lose the idea of the soil and the globe, because we are now all virtually in Poland. We could call the project Ziemia. So this my one translation that address the global and the soil at the same time. Those are the precise ingredients on which that will create the conditions of our survival, the globe and the soil. So the project Earth, Ziemia, started a few months ago at the beginning of the pandemic. It was born from anger and as well hope. As well hope and the realization that there is no solution without the collective action. So anger and despair because we all saw, all of us, in an extremely violent way, the weaknesses of our current systems. The founding team of this project is composed of Sébastien Lacomblé, who is a landscape designer, a graphic designer, artist, musician, raising snakes. Sébastien Bizet, who is an art historian, musician, brewer, and farmer. Remy Hans, a visual artist, and us, just architects. So for us, Terre, Earth, Ziemia, I will stop saying it because I'm saying it very badly each time, but So Earth is a system. So rather than a project, we actually prefer the term network, to which you are all invited to take part. So Earth is to reinstall a systematic approach of the world rather than analytic one, putting everything in like small boxes. Earth will awaken people's awareness of their collective power through individual action. So yeah, it is of course a challenge to address complexity, but complexity, from the Italian complexus, is also what ties us together. We don't believe in a network in which the architect is there to talk only about architecture, or the brewer only about beer, but rather that the new links can emerge in which the connections are as relevant as the dots. There is current inability of existing political structures, that's what we think, to respond to the biggest challenge of humanity. We, don't believe anymore in concepts like sustainability or security, nor Anthropocene or Capitalocene. We won't save the world by inventing new concepts every month that always hide the root of everything, productivity, but let's not talk about it too long. Francis Allais, a famous botanist, says that animals master space and plants master time. This is exactly what we lack, because we always thought that we could just move to some greener grassland. We all know that we don't have a second planet. The world that we are living in is an ecosystem in which all of our small actions, big or small, have a consequence through the effect of time. But time, as scientists, all of them, most of them, often reminds us, is something that we lack. Another precision, because we love those small precisions, is we not tell you that we should act now in this state of emergency, or all being like emergency architects. We should, because otherwise it's too late. We rather think that we should stop always acting in a state of emergency. And if I may, I want to just quote or talk about this philosopher, Paul Virilio, for whom like the world just became this collection of accidents, a collection of events that happen without even real before or after. Just like events, it's now, it's urgent. So as a member of Earth and a new member of Terre, our goal is simple: create time. Terre is a product of the globalism. To experiment with the local and the global, to cultivate the biosphere and the technosphere, like powerful sentences. To be spontaneous but connected at the same time. So it's to prepare now, the day after tomorrow, to help you achieve this simple goal, or complex. We have a very, very simple tool: gardens. So let's take another detour, because for us, Terre is also an archipelago. The monasteries were the places where culture was protected and cultivated for better times. Entities alone, but connected in our one vast network. So we propose a network of gardens. The project Terre, instead of waiting for others to create a better world for tomorrow, we can now already start to take possession of the Diemia and address it to the common. So Terre is a territory design system based on private action. Because animals can move, we are animals, we can take some of the seeds and plants in as many different locations and conditions possible on Earth, hoping that at least one of them will survive and give us more time. By joining Earth, maybe you will not be an inventor, because we don't invent anything, just a connector of this network. Fantastic gardens with the aim of creating time are already in production all around the world. We don't invent anything. Yeah, we could, for instance, talk about this French association of protection of animals that are now attacked by farmers because of a piece of land that they bought for nothing, in both meanings. Because it costs nothing now to buy those soils that have been destroyed by decades of monoculture. So they also bought it for rewilding purposes, simply deciding to do nothing and let nature help itself. The main principle is very simple. The original apples, like the original apple forest of Kazakhstan and their highly diverse and resilient gene pool are now facing like extinction because of climate change and urbanization. We all know the famous projects of people planting complex ecosystem in Japan or Indonesia. And the idea could be explained by just taking some of the seeds of this apple forest and then putting them everywhere. Hopefully, one will survive and one will bring apple to some of our future generation. The Earth gardens are not a pure space of contemplation from which the human should be excluded. But at the same time, we are not at the center anymore. And starting a terra garden will, in any case, not be something that can benefit you here and now. That's something important. It's for all the others everywhere and after. Gardens may either be botanical garden, nourishing garden, a leisure garden, or all the three at the same time. The three categories of gardens divide according to their aims. Terre, it's a pedagogical project. Terre gardens allow to share knowledge with the maximum of people. They can be studied, observed, and allow us to learn from different climatic, geologic, and ecosystemic conditions in order to construct more resilience. They also act, of course, as a living bank for the preservation of species in the wide variety. Last paragraph is, what do we provide? First of all, a transnational network to put old and new gardeners in relation, to exchange of knowledge or common interrogation or experimentations, a collective charter able to ensure that the success of this common project, an assistance on the choice of the land to buy, but also what could be implemented on it and how, in terms of landscape architecture, botanic, theory, economy, but also poesis. A living encyclopedia of all the experimentations that will happen. And yeah, so now I guess we need your help from each one of you, private, public institutions, to transform it into, hopefully, yeah, a common reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Johnny, for your inspirational talk. When we were speaking before, I was particularly struck by the brilliance and the simplicity of your proposal, because it's simple enough that it can be implemented quickly. And if I understood you correctly, this exhausted agricultural land has no further use for industry, so it can be purchased very cheaply and then repurposed for the benefit of people, just to have a place that the land is healing, that they can go and not have to spend money, and they can just, create their own experiences in that space. I wonder, because you still have a few minutes left of the floor, could you tell us a little bit more about these wild apple orchards in Kazakhstan? Because if I'm not mistaken, some of those heirloom apples are really unusual. Some are licorice flavored, some are berry flavored. They've never been commercially exploited. And now those orchards are threatened by urban development, and we could lose a world resource. We could lose something that we can't replace. I think it's a tragedy. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's something like, so it's because, of course, of urbanization, but also like the climate change that are created by us. But like the condition of the apple tree is similar to so many species, in which we know that some of the original species that we didn't modified, even if like in our group, we think that as humans, it's also our goal to mix seeds together, are way more now valuable. But we are not saying that, for instance, we should replace all the apple trees that exist by those old apple trees, but that we need to have options. We need to create a condition in which we can choose. And as you were saying, like we know that the monoculture production is not working anymore. So we also need to experiment other things. But again, it will take time, and it's not for us. It will be for after, and a world with like bad apple and amazing apple, and hopefully available for everyone.